Ministry of Commerce officials and everybody. Well, this is a great honor for us to be talking on the completion of 12 years of the current government, and definitely I'm sure all my friends have seen a lot of changes, a lot of improvements in these 12 years that the government has been on the seat and in power. And definitely for the engineering sector, there have been quite a lot of changes. I don't want to go back right 12 years, but I can all say is that the last year we had the largest export from India of the engineering sector, which is $122.43 billion. It also is roughly 28% of India's mercantile export. And despite the global headwinds and the challenges that we have grown by 4.86%. In April, we have grown more than roughly 9%. And I'm sure May figures, which will come out shortly, will also reflect the fact is that we have still on a growing trajectory. This, despite the fact that we must realize that 16% of engineering exports is to West Asia. We are talking of Dubai, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and a part of Saudi, which is serviced through the Gulf of Hormuz. Engineering, as all my friends would know, is mainly sea cargo. And the fact remains that sea cargo currently in the Gulf of Hormuz, at least for normal daily engineering items, is as good as nil. So despite the fact that we are losing 16% of our exports, we are still gaining. We have got a 9% growth in April, despite the whole month. We all know the Gulf of Hormuz is closed. Government has done a lot of things for helping exporters. The relief scheme that came in after a lot of discussion with the government has helped to a certain extent, especially for those places where freight rates went up and surcharges went up. So wherever we could get a specific invoice for all the surcharge or container surcharge, I think government is agreeing to give 50% of that as a reimbursement. All also we can say is that there has been various proactive measures taken by the government just to make sure that engineering exports in general and engineering exports in particular grow. The back to town procedure has been simplified. The port demurrage for back to town containers, I think for 1 month or even maybe more, has been waived. Concor has also waived charges. So the pain that is there in the West Asia definitely is there. We all have it. But government has tried to help wherever possible in ease of doing business and trying to help us get that pain at least to a certain extent softened. Also, the government is actively pursuing various FTAs. We would be now having more or less in final stages on this thing. FTAs with 39 countries, maybe I would say 2/3 of the developed world would be having an FTA with India. Because what has happened is the age of multilateralism has now sort of more or less gone cut due to the various protective measures taken by and unilateral measures taken by so many other countries, including USA. So what has happened is the age of multilateralism is not there. So in that situation, the only way possible is for us to have a bilateral deal with our trading partners so that our goods face as less a duty as possible, and there is at least a possibility that we can be lower duty as compared to our competitors. So the India-UK deal is just around the corner. It has been signed. It's stuck only because of the steel factor, which we should iron out shortly. India-EU deal is, framework is done, principal agreements is done, the final deal should be signed shortly and then go to the EU Parliament for approval. India-US BTA, that's something which is like a on and off. I would say it's still on, but with some hiccups in between which keep coming up, but we are trying to iron out those things. So in that respect, that is also there. We have done a India-Oman FTA, which is operationalized already. We have done an India-New Zealand FTA, which is also now in finals. It has gone to, I think, the New Zealand side, put it up to their parliament. So in that respect, we have done so many other things that to facilitate our Indian exporters to get a better advantage in the for their exports. We are also negotiating with Mexico for a BTA, a limited BTA for some items. I think terms of reference have been finalized. We are negotiating with Chile and Peru for an FTA. Sir is the chief negotiator from the Indian side for the Chile and the Peru FTA. So overall, I think we are creating an environment which would possibly help us get some sort of advantage over our competing nations. There is definitely more work to do. We definitely are working on improving the rating of MSMEs, because I think that is a challenge that we have discovered, that MSMEs, when their rating is done, they are rated with the best in their industry. So there is not a separate rating for MSMEs. Like for example, in the steel sector, if you are an MSME, if you go to a rating agency, your rating will be compared to the best in the steel, which will be JSW or Tata. Very unfair, this thing. So when they are a benchmark for you, the fact is that you don't get an investment grade rating, which is BBB and above. Most of our engineering units who are MSMEs, I'm sure, are not in investment grade rating. So as a result of which, they cannot negotiate their bids on the TREDS platform. They cannot list on the main stock exchanges. Their rate of exchange by the banks is far more higher. They are not getting that repo plus 200 basis point spread that they are not able to achieve. And definitely their collateral requirement is also much higher as compared to what they should be actually having. So we are working on that also, and I would say we are working on anything that if you have an issue, like I think some QCO problems are there, we are trying to solve those. I think hand-tooled QCO is one thing which has come up to us. We are working on it. Steel prices have risen dramatically. We are trying to see that we get steel at international prices. At least the export parity price of the steel majors. Our MSMEs should be able to get steel at that price. But for export, mainly for export, but as long as you are not trading in that item, there is a scheme. We are actively pursuing the steel ministry, and sir is also in charge of that scheme. So if there is some issues in operationalizing in that scheme, if you are not able to get steel at international price parity, we would be glad to take up. If there is anything, we have also taken up, I think recently the budget, the GST rule has changed for services. Now, if the recipient of service is in India, even if the service provider is outside, it is taxable under RCA. So, in that respect, we are taken up with the GST Council. We hope to, because otherwise Foreign Agents Commission now is taxable under RCA. So, in that respect, we are trying to do our best, and I hope we can do whatever things. If you have any specific issues, please let us know, and I'm sure EEPC will take up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome and insightful remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker will share important government initiative and announcement that are shaping future of India's engineering sector. May I now invite Shri Ashwin Golabkar, Deputy GFT, RA Mumbai, to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries present on the dais and all my exporter colleagues. My name is Ashwin Golabkar. I am a Deputy Director General of Foreign Trade, Mumbai office, and I'll take a few minutes to explain DTFT's role in promoting exports through export promotion mission, recently signed FTAs, and ease of doing business reforms. I'll request EEPC officials, because it's a very long presentation, to share the presentation with you. I will just guide through the presentation. So the Directorate General of Foreign Trade comes under the Ministry of Commerce, and it's an autonomous body. It was developed under FTDR Act 1992, and its main function is to formulate foreign trade policy and implement it through the regional offices. We have 24 offices all across India. So I will start with the export promotion mission, which was newly launched by the Government of India, especially to promote or handhold the exporters right from the first step to the last step of export. At each and every part of the exports, you will find a component in the export promotion mission. So export promotion mission has two parts, Niryat Protsahan and Niryat Disha. As you all know, Niryat Protsahan means encouragement to the exports, and Niryat Disha means to guide the exporters to achieve more and more exports. So basically we have two aims in this under EPM. Those who are already exporting must export more, and those who are not exporting and having the potential to export should start exporting. So this is our main objective under this. So export promotion mission is a game changer for MSMEs because almost all the components are designed especially for the MSMEs. Right from getting the order to market intelligence and post-shipment, till the post-shipment export financing, almost at every step of the export process, we'll find a component in the export promotion mission. So I will start with there are two sub-components. I will start with Niryat Protsahan, that is driving trade through finance access. So the first scheme under it is interest subvention support for pre and post export credit. The support that is provided is 2.75% of subvention on the interest cost. I will share this PPT with you so the detailed export promotion mission and everything will come to know. The second is a collateral support for export credit. It is for MSME exporters. It will help MSME exporters by providing credit guarantee export. The third is support for alternative trade instruments, that is export factoring. It will provide 2.75% subvention on the interest for export factoring. The fourth is credit assistance for e-commerce export. It is specially designed for the e-commerce export. We at DTFT think that the future lies in the e-commerce export, and we want to onboard more and more MSMEs in the e-commerce export. Fifth is support for emerging export opportunities. Then another component of the EPM is Niryat. So this is basically the Niryat Protsahan and how you can apply. You have to have IC code, import export code, and you can just apply through these steps for any of these components. The second is Niryat Disha, that is expanding holistic market access. These are the subcomponents under Niryat Disha. I will go through one and one. So first is a market access support. Basically it's arranging bioseller meets, arranging seminars, taking participation in the export exhibition, etc. The second is a TRACE scheme, trade regulation, accreditation and compliance enablement. So for testing, inspection and certification, the government will support you. The third is flow, facilitating logistic overseas warehousing and fulfillment flow to enable access to overseas storage, distribution and fulfillment. The fourth is LIFT scheme, logistic intervention for freight and transport. 30% of the actual cost incurred during the logistics will be compensated. The fifth is INSIGHT scheme, integrated support for trade intelligence and facilitation. And so how in India, Disha, there are LIFT scheme and TRACE where you can apply through the DGFT portal, and MAS, Flow and INSIGHT scheme you can go through trade.gov.in. Mention must be done to the timely intervention done by the Government of India through the relief scheme, which was launched to counter the disturbances in the Middle East region. The implementing agency for the relief scheme was ECGC, and participating and the region which was under focus for the relief scheme was UAE, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, Iraq, Iran and Yemen. There are three components of relief scheme. The first component for the existing cover, the second component for the upcoming exporter, and third component is designed for the MSME exporter. So you can just go through in which component you can apply for the relief scheme. The nodal agency is ECGC. We have another initiative called the District Export Hub. Prime Minister has a vision that every district can become center for excellence, center for export, and no need to depend on the metropolitan cities for the exports. So we have developed district export action plans for each and every district, and it has shared. So this is the DGFT's role in the District Export Hub. There is a DGFT's trade facilitation reforms, online IC issuance, e-certificate of origin, paperless, every license is issued paperlessly, and Jansunbai facility, so that you don't have to approach DGFT office, you can just log in to DGFT website and you can participate, you can meet the officers online through DC. This is a Trade Connect platform. Trade Connect platform is a single platform where you will get all the information regarding trade. You will just have to enter the HS code and what all free trade agreements have been signed by the India, what advantage you will get vis-a-vis your competitors, everything is there on the Trade Connect platform. So these are the recently signed free trade agreements. Please go through it. All this information is available on Trade Connect portal. Just log into the Trade Connect portal and you will find all these agreements that were recently signed and what HS code you have and what advantage you will get as per your competitors. So this is India UK CETA and what advantage you can provide for the engineering goods. This is India Oman CEPA and the advantages for the engineering goods. India New Zealand Free Trade Agreement and what are the advantages for the engineering goods. India EU Free Trade Agreement overview and what are the advantages for the engineering sector in that. I share this PPT with you. So these are the various FTAs which are signed by the Government of India. I request all of you to take a look at it through Trade Connect platform so that for your product, what advantages you have vis-a-vis your competitor, you will come to know. I'll stop my presentation right now because of the positive time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing us with such valuable insight. To present an overview of sector's growth, export performance and success stories, we now move to a special presentation by C.H. Naligar, Regional Director EEPC.
Thank you, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I have a very short presentation on the 12 years achievements of engineering exports from India. And, today is a momentous day for all of us. We are broadcasting the celebration of our achievements in the last 12 years. Achieved an export target of $122 billion US. And on the one hand we are celebrating, and on the other hand today we are honoring the champions behind this achievement. So we have an award function immediately after that. You can see the trophies over there. You all will be, the award winners will be getting the trophies. EEPC, you all know, is an export promotion body under the Department of Commerce. It is basically an interface between the government and the exporters, doing a lot of functions like hand-holding, exhibitions, technology upgradation programs, training, information dissemination, and other activities. This is a snapshot of our exports for the last 12 years achievement. Started with our merchandise exports, started with 310 billion and now reached about $421 billion. And engineering exports from 79 billion to $122 billion. This is about the engineering exports for the last 12 years, from the year 2014-15 to 2025-26, from 70 billion to insignificant thing what we can notice here is engineering contribution in the total merchandise exports is increasing. It was 3% in the year 2014-15. Now our contribution is 28%. So when you talk of engineering, it is value-added products. So in our basket, much of the value-added products are gaining importance and gaining momentum. That is the significance we can look into it. This is a snapshot where we were in 14-15 and 25-26. And another major development is during the earlier years we were more into base metal exports and resource-based products. Now translated into high technology products like aerospace, automobile, and even the destination concentration has also changed. We have moved from one set of destinations to the other set, taking advantage of the China plus one, and India has, if you see at the next slide, you will see where the US is a major destination. So government policy push also helped us to reach out to this level. Export promotion mission, platform, Trade Connect platform, bringing in digital connectivity to all, and that is the digital single window for all the major thing you can see is the free trade agreement signed with 38 countries in last 5 years. It started in the year 2021 and lastly with the US. That is another achievement of this government. And in most of the trade agreements you can see in the slide that India has got almost 100% duty-free access in all these agreements. Somewhere 95, somewhere 98. These are all the region-wise engineering exports. Country-wise. And this is about the Western region, which contribute 40%. This slide is for you. Big applause for you. Applause yourself. 40% exports. And this is the show which we have been doing for the last 2 years. The third edition is in the month of February, between 4 and 9, 2027, Bharat Mobility. Visitors, about 8 lakh visitors visit this show. The best of automobiles, Indian automobiles are displayed there. More than 2,000 exhibitors happening in the world famous Bharata Mandapam. We invite you to participate as well as visit this show. Some glimpses of India Pavilion exhibitions which we have done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such informative presentation. We are privileged to have with us Shri Vimal Anand, Joint Secretary, Department of Commerce, Government of India. May I request Shri Vimal Anand ji to kindly address the keynote.
I would start with acknowledging the presence of friends from the media. Thank you so much for joining this press conference that the Department of Commerce, Ministry of Commerce and Ministry Government of India is organizing with the support of EEPC India. All the distinguished members from the Engineering Exports fraternity who are also the award winners will be very soon honored by the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa in the next session. Colleagues from the EEPC India, office bearers of EEPC India, my dear friends and colleagues, I'm really glad to be a part of this gathering. And this is basically being organized on the occasion of completion of 12 years of Honorable Prime Minister's governance, and we are very proud to highlight the growth story that India has seen for the past 12 years under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister. Occasions like this not only serve an important purpose, they create the space for a factual, comprehensive, detailed account of where India's engineering export sector stands. The Department of Commerce is fully aligned with this purpose, because what this sector achieved over the past 12 years, this story deserves to be told to a wider gathering, where we seek the help of the friends from the media to publicize it in the vast Indian landscape. India's engineering exports, as has been pointed out by my friends from DGFT and EEPC India, it reached $122 billion in the last financial year. This is an all-time record for the engineering sector. From 70 billion 12 years back to 122 billion, 1.43 billion to be exact, reflects the sector's sustained growth, resilience and increasing global competitiveness, and the value that Indian engineering exports have achieved the world over. To appreciate what it means, it is important to first highlight what the engineering sector represents with India's larger economic architecture. Engineering is the largest contributor to India's mercantile export earnings. It accounts for almost 28% of total mercantile exports that the country makes today. A decade ago, the share stood at around 20% for the engineering sector. The increase in share, not just in absolute value, is the more telling indicator of the sector's deepening role in India's export economy. The sector is diverse. It spans transport, equipment, automotive goods, industrial machinery, electrical and electronic goods, precision instruments, fasteners, steel, and the list is inexhaustible. It is also notably inclusive, the entire engineering sector. 35 to 40% of engineering exports are contributed by MSMEs. There is a good mix of large corporations, many of them are represented here also, and MSMEs who are very, very widely represented in today's gathering, and they will be, they are among the award winners also for the Western Zone. It is woven into the industrial fabric of districts, clusters, and towns across the country. Let me walk you through the trajectory. In financial 14-15, India's engineering exports stood at approximately 73 billion. What followed was not a straight line upward. It was a journey through commodity price volatility, global pandemic, geopolitical disruption, and shifting trade policy. And yet, the sector has grown steadily and determinedly. The recent 3 years tell the clearest story of the sector's momentum. Engineering exports in 23-24 reached $109 billion. This was followed by a new record of $116.67 billion in financial year 24-25 and a further rise to an all-time high of $122.43 billion in 25-26. These 3 consecutive years of record exports were achieved despite disruptions in global trade routes, as you are all aware, tightening financial conditions in major economies, currency volatility, and growing protectionist tendencies, underscoring the resilience and competitiveness of India's engineering sector. Over the past 12 years, the sector has faced distinct sets of challenges. It is worth mentioning that because the manner in which the sector of the government responded defines the character of this support. To cut the story short, this very soon the Honorable Chief Minister is also going to arrive, and we would also like to throw the discussion open for the media. I would like to highlight that some of the major achievements that the engineering sector has achieved today has been backed by very firm backing from the Government of India. Some of the incentives that the Government of India has provided has been highlighted by my friend from the GFT. I welcome the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa with this gathering. I would continue with the growth story that India has witnessed, especially in the engineering sector. The growth of this scale and consistency that I have just highlighted does not happen in a policy vacuum. The Government of India has built a sustained and layered framework of support for the engineering export sector. The export promotion mission that Ashwin has just highlighted I welcome Honorable Suresh Prabhu sir for joining today's event. Thank you sir for joining. So the export promotion mission that was covered in detail by my friend from DGFT has been backed by an outlay of 25,060 crore rupees for the period 2025 to 31. It provides a unified digital framework for export support. Its 2 components address the full spectrum of export needs. Niryat Protsahan, which covers affordable credit, interest subvention, and export factoring, while Niryat Disha addresses compliance, branding, logistics, and global market access. The foreign trade policy has been reformed to drive a shift toward a district-driven, digital, and remission-based export ecosystem, with emphasis on e-commerce exports, MSME participation, and global value chain integration. The Department of Commerce, through the DGFT Trade Connect platform, which links exporters with DOC, export promotion councils, Indian missions, and Exim brand, brings trade facilitation infrastructure directly to the exporter. On the financial side, the interest equalization scheme and the emergency trade client guarantee scheme of the government together ensure that India's exporters retain access to affordable working capital even when global trade conditions tighten. The RELIEF scheme or the relief scheme was specifically designed to offset elevated logistics and insurance costs during the most recent West Asia crisis. The trade guarantee cover has been expanded with term loan limits of ₹20 crore now available for exporting MSMEs. Complementing these are the product link incentive scheme, the quality control orders to raise product standards, the national single window system, which has significantly streamlined regulatory compliance, hard trade net as a digital trade infrastructure platform, and customs duty rationalization to lower input costs for engineering manufacturers. Alongside domestic reforms, India's renewed momentum on free trade agreements has significantly expanded market opportunities for engineering exporters. As a sector that has got deeply integrated with global value chains and dependent on access to international markets, the engineering exports stand to benefit substantially from preferential market access arrangements of India across the globe. India's trade and economic engagement expands key markets across West Asia, including the UAE and Oman, Europe, including the European Union, the United Kingdom and the EFTA countries, Oceania, including Australia and New Zealand, and increasingly the countries in the Latin American and Caribbean region. I'm myself the chief negotiator for Chile, Peru and Mercosur engagements of India to open these growing economies for the exporters who are represented in Venezuela. Together, these regions represent some of the world's largest centers of manufacturing, infrastructure development, technology adoption, and consumer demand. The geographic picture of India's engineering exports reflects both depth and diversification. So, with these words, I want to request my friends from the media to highlight the growth story of not only the engineering sector but also the entire Indian economy, which has, as we have witnessed in the recent publication of the growth rates, it is the largest large economy in the world with such a growth rate of over 7%. I request all of you to publicize this growth story not only among your friends and your fellow citizens, but also throughout the world. As the exporters have a wide reach not only in India but also throughout the world. With this, I would like to conclude my address and request once again to all of you to keep up the good work that you have been doing, and to the result of this good work that today India feels proud to have such a unprecedented growth story. Thank you so much, Jai.
Thank you, Joint Secretary Sir. Now we are going to start the award presentation ceremony. The interaction with the press by the Joint Secretary Sir will happen immediately after the award presentation ceremony. I request all of the media to be present till the completion of the award presentation ceremony. Thereafter, we will have an interaction with you by the Department of Commerce officials. Thank you very much.